Welcome to the Proofing Sits and Downs lesson. Now your dog has had some practice with sits, downs, and stands, so we are going to work on proofing. We are going to focus on sits and downs, but you can also do the same things with your stand. This will actually just be the same process we did for the proofing go to mat lesson, but we are just going to apply the same concepts to these other behaviors. With sits and downs, you might need to be pickier than you were with the mat. Your dog should hold the position you cued and not switch positions without being cued. Instead of the only criteria being stay on the mat, now the criteria is stay in a sit or stay in a down. If your dog tries to switch positions or gets out of position before being released, put them back in the position you cued and give them an easy repetition and then reward. Remember, if your dog fails, it just means the repetition was too hard in that moment. Even though your dog already has a hang of these concepts on the mat, you should really start from the beginning with your positions. It's likely your dog will progress faster than they did on the mat, but remember that your criteria is harder with the positions than it was with the mat. Just like with the It's Me or the Cookie bowl games lesson, you can utilize different types of reward markers and release cues while proofing your sits and downs. Just like with the mat, we're going to start with duration. Before you can start moving away from your dog or adding distractions while holding a position, they need to be able to stay put with you right next to them. You've already started this by giving your dog multiple rewards in each position, and we taught them how to stay put while on their mat. Build duration by adding more time between your rewards instead of just giving 3 to 5 cookies right after each other. Try giving a treat, waiting a few seconds, then giving another treat. Try to get to 5 seconds between treats, and remember, life is no fun if it's always hard. Make sure you're throwing in some shorter duration repetitions while practicing with your dog. After your dog has held the position for a few treats, use a release cue and toss a treat to reset them. Again, your dog should be able to trust that you will let them know when they can get up. Once your dog can hold a position for about 5 to 10 seconds between rewards, you can play around with some mild distractions. Again, we already taught this concept on the mat, but now we are just introducing it to different behaviors. Remember, only work on 1D at a time, so keep the time between your treats short and stay close to your dog. The distraction we are going to focus on right now is handler movement. Before you can step away from your puppy, they need to get used to you moving around while staying close to them. Keep these movements pretty mild. Try stepping your foot out behind you or to the side without taking a full step. Try moving your arms and keeping your feet still. Try pivoting around on the spot. And after each little test, reward your dog for staying put. Make sure to only try one thing at a time, but you can mix it up each repetition. You might need to break these movements down into smaller parts, and that's okay. Work at whatever level your dog can be successful at. Once your dog is familiar with duration and handler movement, try adding in a little bit of distance. Make sure to move calmly and keep the time between rewards short. Start by just taking one full step away from your dog, then quickly go back and reward them in position. Repeat this a few times. You're teaching your dog that you're going to move away from them, but you'll be right back with their rewards, so they should just stay where they are. Try gradually adding in more steps as your dog improves, but make sure to throw in some easier repetitions with fewer steps every now and again. That's it for this lesson. Make sure when you're first starting out with this, you're rewarding your dog in position more often than you're releasing them out of position. You still want to release your dog out of position sometimes, but we want to make sure that we're really reinforcing the dog for holding the position. As always, try to work at a level you think your dog will have success with, and increase or decrease difficulty based on what your dog is able to do in that session.